Hey, and welcome back to Off the Beaten Path with Ash. Today I'm going to show you how I store my backpacking gear and other outdoor gear. Let's get into it. Let me start off by saying that no company has sent me any gear and I have no sponsors. So this is all gear that I've acquired myself. And I want to say that yes, I am fortunate to have the extra space to be able to store my gear like this. And I know not everybody's got the extra room for this, but this is just how I store my gear. Now this is my hobby, and this is what I spend my money and time on doing. So I set it up to be kind of what I consider to be a proper manner.
We're getting ready to go on an adventure, so let's go.
I'm probably like most of you who love backpacking. Before we started backpacking, we still went camping or glamping or car camping or whatever you want to call it. So I did have some of this stuff pre-backpacking, but most of it is backpacking gear. And I have built this storage room within the last year. Wow. How beautiful is that? This is just what works for me. I'm able to get to it because it's organized, it's off the ground, it's not any kind of a moist area like a basement or an attic, because moisture can ruin this kind of stuff. And then animals can get to it in basements and attics as well. This has worked for me, and it might work for you. I've got some crampons and micro spikes. And then over here I got my first ever backpacking pack. It's the Gregory Katmai 65, and it is a great pack. I do stand by it. So if you're a traditional backpacker, this is a very, very good pack. It's got the best water bottle holder that I've ever seen on a backpack. I wish more companies would have a water bottle holder just like that. A North Face Phantom. I got the Hyperlite Southwest. Up here I got some tents and some clothes foam sleeping pads and a sleeping pad for my dog. And then up on the top I've got some chairs. Yes, I do carry a chair when I'm backpacking. Yes, I'm a little bit older and it feels good after hiking a long day to be able to sit in a chair. Yes. Here I got some under quilts and some regular camping type blankets. And right here I've got a double car camping type sleeping pad. And then comes my sleeping bags. I have a lot of room for my sleeping bags, but they need to be able to loft. You cannot store them compressed if they're down. If they're made of down and they're compressed for too long, then they lose their insulation property. Usually I store them in some kind of a canvas or nylon or net bag, these are expensive items and I want to be able to keep them for a long period of time. I got the Enlightened Equipment Enigma right here. I got the Mountain Equipment Glacier. I got a couple of those, and they're both women bags. And yes, I use the women's sleeping bag because they're warmer and they're cheaper. And why not? And it's pink too, so I use a pink sleeping bag. Yeah. Down here I got some camera equipment, and then in the back here I've got a canvas bag that has anything that I wear backpacking related that is made of down, and it's clothing. Puffy jacket, any kind of pants, or anything that's made of down that can't be compressed for too long. I treat them just like a sleeping bag and keep them in a canvas bag, or I'm sorry, maybe it's a cloth bag. I keep them hanging, and I don't want them to lose their insulation properties either. And these duffel bags up here, I keep any kind of backpacking related clothing that I use and I don't use on a day-to-day basis. That way if a trip comes up, short notice or something like that I want to go on, I can go up in here in these bags and just get my clothing that I need, throw them in my pack, and I'm out of here. Here I've got car camping or just whatever kind of cooler, and then this is a backpack cooler that you can take like kayaking or something like that. In this crate right here I've got my hammocks, and then right here I've got my trekking poles. I got a bin full of DIY projects, MYOG, make your own gear stuff. Made my own suspension for hammocks, made a few other things, my cordage and stuff like that. I do fiddle around with that kind of stuff, and I like to make my own gear. Right here I've got any of my merino wool, socks, beanies, any odds and ends type clothing. And then right here in this area is my smaller gear items like knives and any kind of just small things. And then on the bottom shelf I've got my MYOG shelf where I'm in the middle of making my own backpack. I'm trying to start out of Tyvek, and then I'm trying to make my own down underquilt as well. Trying to make a down underquilt when you're not very proficient at sewing. If you're a novice sewer, don't start your first big sewing project with down. The baffling systems that you have to do with down are very complicated compared to other synthetic type installations. That's a pro tip, and I'm not a pro. Don't start on something that's down. Here I got the Mountain Hardwear Grotto 35 liter pack. I love it. I carry it on a day-to-day basis, and it's awesome. Okay, so I got 4, I think they're 65-gallon totes, and this top one here, this is all my go-to backpacking equipment. The stuff that I use most of the time, it goes in this tub. And then in the other 3, I've got motorcycling equipment, kayaking equipment, climbing equipment, and any other outdoor kind of stuff. But they're all full of gear. And yeah, I'm a gearhead. That's how I store my gear for backpacking. And I know it might not be the right way for some people, but that's just how I do it. I've learned from the backpacking community, and what I want to know is if there's another better way that you know of, drop it in the comments for me. And if this has helped you, or you want to follow along in my backpacking journey in the future, like and subscribe, because I know I can get better, but together we can get better. Off the beaten path with Ash. See ya. That's a pro tip, and I'm not a pro.